let's take a look at our passage and read it and practice our strategies for reading passages. First, when you have a passage that looks like this, we need to underline the title. So what is the title of our passage? It is Pete the Prairie Dog. I'm going to underline it. Next, we need to circle the paragraphs. But wait, what is a paragraph? A paragraph is a group of sentences that share an idea. So here we can see that the passage already has the paragraph numbers next to it. So how many paragraphs do we have? We have 2. So I'm going to circle 1 and I'm going to circle 2. For paragraph 1, we see the groups of sentences. And then the first sentence goes in. That's called an indent. That's where it starts. Then I see paragraph 2. And I see that it goes in as well, showing me the start of paragraph 2. Next, after we circle or number the paragraphs, we need to walk through the question. Now let's look at the question. Where does this story take place? So what is our key word? It is place. So what are we trying to find? We are trying to find the place, the setting of the story. And here we have our answer choices. In a hawk's nest, near a river, in the desert. We're not answering it yet because we have not read the passage. This is a strategy we use for passages before we read, and that is walk through the question. So we know that when we read this passage, Pete the Prairie Dog, what are we finding? We are finding the place. Now we can read it. Pete the Prairie Dog. Pete the Prairie Dog poked his head up out of his burrow. His mother had barked a warning. Now the hawk was gone, and it was safe to come out. The desert sun was warm this morning. Soon it would be too hot to come out to eat. Pete liked to stay in his cool home in the heat of the day, but right now he wanted a juicy root to eat. It would give him food and water, all the things he needed to survive. Now that we've read the passage, we need to answer the question. In the question again, it says, where does this story take place? And we're going to go through all the answer choices. Did the story take place in a hawk's nest? Did we read about a hawk's nest? No, we did not. So I'm going to put an X. Near a river. Did we read about a river? Well, let's go back and look for any words that look like river, anything about water or river. No, I do not see that either. Now our last answer choice is in the desert, but I'm not gonna bubble it in yet because we need to find proof. We need to prove that this answer is correct. So let's go back to our passage and find clues. So let's check paragraph 1. Do we see anything about a desert? No, I see burrow, but that's not in the answers. So let's go to paragraph 2, and that has our clue. Do you see the word that matches that? That's in the answer. Yes, I see the word desert. I'm going to underline it. It says the desert sun was warm this morning. So in the desert, it gets warm. Then soon it would be too hot to come out to eat. So that is another clue because the desert is hot. So we have our clues here telling us the answer. So where does the story take place? In the desert. We are going to fill in that circle. We're going to color it carefully and not get outside the lines, and we are not going to leave any white space. Now, after you prove it, you should write a P for paragraph and 2 to show that you got your answer from paragraph 2 and you underlined your clue words. And that is how you use your strategies for reading a passage. Now go ahead and answer the questions.